Golden sun upon the sea,
golden sun is over me.
Ukulele melody,
drifting on a gentle breeze.
Let the worries fall away
on this slow.
Hey guys, Uncle Sully back at you again. I get another food video for you to consume. So get out a knife and a fork and just chow down. Don't break a tooth. This one is about, what is it about? Oh, it's about sprouts. Sprouts isn't a huge issue for me. I live on Maui, and you get a hell of a lot more rice and macaroni and cheese than you get sprouts. But I guess there's an issue with sprouts sweeping the nation. So this video doesn't have a white at the beginning, so it's gonna start like immediately. I apologize ahead of time, but hopefully this is wonderful information that you will consume and put it in your notebook.
You know that moment when you bite into a sandwich and you get that fresh, green, super satisfying crunch? Yeah, chances are you're eating sprouts. We see them everywhere, from salads to stir fries, but there's a whole other side to them that, well, you don't really see on the menu.
Not here in Hawaii. I can't remember the last time I had a sprout.
Let's get into it, because what seems like an innocent health food has a surprisingly risky backstory. I mean, we love them for that texture, right? That crispy, juicy taste really elevates a simple meal. They just look and feel so healthy, and they've become this go-to for adding a bit of vibrant snap to our food. But here's the catch. That raw, uncooked nature is exactly where the trouble starts. And this isn't some rare one-off thing. We're talking about a long history of foodborne illness outbreaks tied directly to raw sprouts. Just look at this. In 2020, you had an E. coli outbreak that sickened 51 people. Go back to 2014, a listeria outbreak sadly resulted in 2 deaths. And then there's the massive one in 1996, a single outbreak that sickened a staggering 10,000 people and killed 12. These are not just numbers. This is a serious recurring problem. So it really makes you ask, is this crunchy topping actually worth the gamble? To really understand the answer, we have to look at how a seemingly innocent little seed...
Now, I heard, again, I am not an expert, and I am not the expert in these things, but there's a lot more E. coli outbreaks because of organic food. Because instead of using phosphate-based fertilizers, they use dung, poo-poo. And the problem is that poo-poo get into the cracks of, broccoli, or, how lettuce is grown, that there's it can get down into the cracks, and if you break it apart and don't wash it and cook it correctly, I've heard that since we've gone organic that has increased. You just have to do your due diligence. I'm not telling you not to eat organic. You just have to think about that there could be little nasty nuggets of nastiness into the cracks and crevices of your vegetables. So check it out. Do some research. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm talking about, so don't listen to me.
Vehicle for some pretty dangerous bacteria. It's a fascinating and, yes, slightly terrifying piece of microbiology. So how in the world does this happen? It's not what you think. It's not about a dirty restaurant kitchen or someone forgetting to wash their hands. Nope. The problem starts much, much earlier, creating what's basically a perfect storm for getting sick. The contamination almost never happens in the kitchen. It begins right at the source, the seed itself. Way before it ever gets packaged, seeds can get contaminated out in the field, a lot of times from animal manure. And what that means is the bacteria are already there, just waiting, before a single drop of water is even added to start the sprouting process. Okay, this 4-step process really shows why sprouts are so uniquely risky. Step 1, contaminated seeds from the field. Then, to get those seeds to sprout, you give them 2 things, warmth and humidity. The huge problem? Those are also the absolute perfect conditions for bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella to just explode.
Actually, a little bit of warmth and humidity makes me grow too, if you know what I mean. You need it for your growth. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Sorry about that.
Into millions. And finally, since we eat them raw, no kill step, like cooking, to make them safe. Now, this risk isn't the same for everyone. A healthy adult might get away with a really unpleasant couple of days, but for others, the consequences can be way more severe. And this is especially important for anyone who's packing lunches or making meals for their family. I mean, this is about as clear as a warning gets. This isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's official guidance from a state department of education. When the institutions in charge of feeding our kids are told to completely avoid a food, we should all probably sit up and pay attention. The reason for this level of caution is really serious when you see who's most vulnerable. Both the FDA and the CDC are totally on the same page here. The groups that should avoid raw sprouts entirely are children, older adults, pregnant women, and anyone with a weakened immune system. For these folks, a foodborne illness is not just a minor inconvenience, it can be a major, major health crisis. And this right here, this is the terrifying reality. An E. coli infection in a child can lead to something called hemolytic uremic syndrome, or HUS. It is a devastating condition that attacks the kidneys and can even be fatal. And that's exactly why that little bit of crunch in a school sandwich just isn't worth the risk. But what about growing them yourself? Surely that's got to be safer, right? This is one of the most common and
that happened back in the day when I used to live in the Bay Area. We used to go to this little Mexican place, delicious Mexican place, had a beautiful taco salsa bar. And they had an outbreak, and that's exactly what happened. A few children actually lost their lives because of the E. coli, the tainted salsa. They were saying that's what it was. As a matter of fact, the place closed after that. So if I remember correctly, what they were doing, which is wrong, please don't do this, they were taking the old salsa and pouring it into the new salsa. Duh.
Dangerous misconceptions about sprouts. So many people think, hey, if I grow them at home in a clean jar, I'm getting rid of the risk. But unfortunately, the science tells a very, very different story. This chart just breaks that myth down perfectly. It doesn't matter if you buy your sprouts at the store or grow them at home. The problem starts with the exact same thing, the seed. And because the contamination is often inside the seed itself, having a super clean kitchen just doesn't matter.
Wow, it's inside of the seed before you even sprout it? How the hell do you deal with that? Excuse me for swearing.
It's literally baked in from the very beginning, making homegrown sprouts just as dangerous as store-bought ones. Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, you might be ready to swear off sprouts forever. But wait, you don't have to. There are actually really simple, safe ways to enjoy them and some fantastic alternatives that give you that amazing crunch without any of the worry. Here it is, the #1 solution. Cook them. Tossing sprouts into a stir-fry or a soup until they are piped.
But doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of having sprouts? It's kind of like telling you, oh yeah, well, your lettuce on your sandwich or in your salad could be bad for you, so boil it. Like, it defeats the whole purpose of having a salad, doesn't it? Anyway, just my opinion.
Off all that harmful bacteria. This is that kill step we were talking about that's missing when they're eaten raw. For kids, the elderly, or anyone with a compromised immune system, this is the only way sprouts should ever be on the menu. But okay, I know what you're thinking. What about that raw crunch in a salad or a sandwich? All right, if you're packing a school lunch or you just crave that satisfying texture without the risk, here are some awesome and totally safe swaps. Shredded cabbage or carrots give you a fantastic crunch. And hey, don't throw out your broccoli stems. Shred them up. They make a delicious crisp addition. You can even use sprouted lentils. Just make sure you steam them first. That makes them safe while keeping a really nice texture. So the next time you're building that perfect sandwich or tossing a salad, you are now armed with the knowledge to choose your crunch wisely. It's such a small change, but it can make a huge difference in keeping you and your family safe. Now, the choice is yours.
Well, that was interesting information. I'm not a big sprouts eater. How about you guys? Did that kind of scare you? That it's actually in the seed, so even if you try to sprout it at home, it can still, render you useless, to find a better word. Anyway, that was good information. Like I said, sprouts are not really my thing. I don't do a whole lot of sprouting, if you know what I'm talking about. 65, 66, I don't sprout much. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We are going to sign off here. Uncle Sully signing off from beautiful Maui. The weather's been so great, 85 degrees every day. Went to the beach the other day and swam. It's so wonderful. I love it. And I am not going to eat any sprouts next time I go swimming. Aloha, guys.
Golden sun upon the sea.
Golden sun is over me.